Windows computers will now include spyware that takes screenshots of all your activity every couple seconds. I wish that was hyperbole. It's very, very literal. This isn't some sort of kooky theory. No, Microsoft announced it with fanfare. While they did try to walk it back this week, the proposed solution is not a solution. The program in question is called Recall, and it's a part of Copilot Plus, which is Windows like AI assistant. The pitch is basically that Copilot takes and stores an image of your screen every few seconds to function sort of as like a browser history, but for all of your activities on your computer. This like comprehensive browser history is powered by AI, by Copilot Plus, which of course means that they're just training their AI off of everything you do. But that's not the worst of it. See, the mere existence of this cache of screenshots on your computer is bad enough, and I'll get to why in just a moment. But people who got early access to this update figured out pretty quickly that it wasn't at all secure. Like, the images weren't even encrypted. Basically, if you had access to the machine, you had access to the images, including those of other users. Not only is Microsoft doing like 90% of a hacker's job for them by creating a blackmail database, but they're putting people at serious risk, especially people who are in unsafe situations or relationships. Like, imagine if you had a partner who could monitor every single thing you did on a computer. How would you even begin to look for resources to get help? This is also obviously an issue for anyone who handles sensitive documents, not just for doctors, lawyers, but also anyone with an NDA. You know how like a lot of corporate emails will have something that says like, this information is not to be shared outside of this organization. Yep, well, guess you can't open your email on a Windows computer anymore. No one asked for this. While the most recent headlines about a reversal may make it sound like they said never mind and like pulled this completely, these are the actual changes they made. Number one, they switched it from opt-out into opt-in, which is kind of insane that it wasn't part of, honestly, all of these changes, it's incomprehensible how they weren't part of the original plan. Number two, opt-in is gonna require a sign-in. And three, accessing Recall images is gonna require that authentication, and the search index database is going to be encrypted. Because again, it wasn't before. These changes do not make this safe. First and most obviously, because any hacker worth their salt can get past a very basic authentication. Because this program is like natively integrated, it can now run without causing any issues to the rest of the system, which is often how people figure out that they have spyware running on their computer in the first place. Also, hackers have figured out how to turn off the light on webcams. You really don't think that they're going to figure out how to turn off the little like, hey, we're recording symbol, whatever it's going to look like on Recall. Really? Other people have pointed out that Microsoft has a really uncomfortable history with changing settings during updates. That's turning things on that were previously turned off, or vice versa when they force an update on you. Lastly, this whole opt-in approach is barely an obstacle for them, because all they have to do is hide this behind a select recommended settings button. Basically, when you're setting up your computer or your new, Windows 11 update, they'll tell people like, hey, do you want to go through and do all your settings, or do you want to just click one button and have us set recommended settings? That's all they have to do. Something similar. 99.9% of Windows users are going to say, just pick recommended settings. I don't have time for this shit. What settings do you think Windows is going to recommend?